Hey everybody, Taylor with KC here, and today in this video, we're gonna be taking a look at our Gravity Titan LED light bars. So this is gonna be an install guide for how to add a light into your light bar. So the add a light looks like this. It's a little one of the Titan optics with the front and the back rings already installed on it. One thing I will advise before you even get started in this whole process is to call our customer service team. They're gonna be able to walk you through exactly the parts that you need, depending on where you're going, what it's going up, from a 6 light to an 8 light, or a 7 to an 8, or whatever that may be, just to make sure you get the right parts. So give them a call, they'll be able to walk you through everything. That being said, there's a couple tools that you're gonna need to get the installation party rolling. Number one is a 3mm hex key, and then number two is a 6mm. We have it on breaker bar, and we have a little zippy gun with it too, so just to speed up the process a little bit. That's it. Those are all the tools that you're gonna need. So the installation itself is pretty easy. Let's take a quick look. When you look at the back of the light bar itself, or particularly, I guess I should say the top of the light bar, you'll notice that there's 2 bolts at each linker point in between 2 lights. We're gonna pull both of those bolts out. We're gonna unplug the wiring harness on the back at that link. And actually, if you have the right parts, you're gonna have a whole new back linker harness that has the exact amount of plugs that you need for it. So we've already removed that from this one, but when you're doing this in your garage, you're gonna wanna unplug those. That way, that's not the last thing holding it together. So pretty much all you're gonna do is pull the big bolt out, loosen that one, then pull the small bolt all the way out, then finagle the big bolt out, and that's pretty much it. So that being said, if you have another person in the garage to help hold things secure, it helps, but you can totally do this one person if you don't. So make sure you're in loosen mode. Basically just loosen that. Make sure, obviously, everything's fully seated. Make sure you're applying downwards pressure, and you don't want to strip any of these bolts. It's not fun to strip it. So once I got that first one cracked, right, there's a nut underneath that holds it on. So I got that loosened, and now I'm gonna go ahead and loosen the small guy. The small guy is obviously going to be a lot easier to strip. So you wanna make sure you're applying downward pressure while also going ahead and loosening that. Once you've done that, it's loosen. You just go ahead and take it all the way off. So, gotta make sure it works, right, Jacob? So, there's the first one out. We're gonna set this aside. Do not lose that one. Okay, hold your nut too. There's a nylock nut on the bottom. Make sure you hang on to that. And then at this point, you can kind of finagle it back and forth. And just wiggle things, and eventually that bolt's gonna come right out. Now, you took your light off. So now, what you can do is on your new light, you can see that this one doesn't have the hardware in it. So we're gonna go ahead and put that right into position. It goes just like that. Kind of sandwiches in, kind of like Legos almost that link together. Then I'm gonna drop that bolt right back in there. At the same time, I'm gonna grab the small one, put that right back in. Now, real quick, it's important to note because this is how you also would curve your light bar if you're trying to curve it. So if you're gonna curve it, you wanna put it in the left hole if you want, and it would look like this, right? If you are trying to put it straight, you're gonna straighten that light out and put it in that hole. So just depends which configuration you're going for at this point. If you have a Jeep, JL or something like that, typically these are gonna be straight. Now, if you curved it, then that's different. But if you have a Ford Raptor or something like that, these are going to be curved. Just fits the windshield a little bit better. Also spreads that light out a little bit more. So just take a look and see where all the rest of them are, and probably just match that unless you know exactly what you want. So this one, we're just going straight. We got it in the hole on the right there, your left. And I'm just gonna get that thing just started. On this one, I like to use hand tools when you're going back in. Just, you don't wanna over tighten anything, over strip it, or anything like that. So just get a little bit snug, find the nut, put that nut back in the bottom. Sorry, Jacob, I know you probably can't see that well. And then basically just start threading it in. Okay, so we're gonna go snug with it. We're not gonna go super tight yet. We'll go ahead and torque everything down at the end, get it nice and snug. So now we have our next one in. We're gonna go ahead and take all the hardware out. I don't know if in the kit from us, if it comes with the hardware in like that or if it just comes separate in a little baggie, but either way, that's pretty much all the hardware that you need for it. So again, same thing as the last step. Take the light that you already took off where you kind of broke that connection point before, slip it right back in, and at this point, drop your big hardware back in, the little hardware back in, tighten everything up. That's pretty much the installation process. So let me get to this and then we'll kind of do a wrap up at the end here. All right, so now I pretty much have everything good to go here. We have our extra light already added in. So now you can tell it's a nice 8-light light bar, Broncos, Jeeps, all that good stuff. So pretty much all you do after you get everything dropped in, just go ahead and snug everything up. Obviously the bigger bolt can be a little bit tighter than that small bolt. The small bolt you really just wanna make sure is just a little bit more than hand tight. You don't want to go too crazy with it, snug that up. That is just for the adjustability of the light. That's not an actual structural thing that's holding everything together. That's just making sure that the position, the orientation from straight to curved is where you want it to be and stays that way. So finish it up, get everything nice and snug. With that being said, that's pretty much everything for the Titan light bar. That's how you add a light onto it. If you have any other questions, concerns, or comments about the video, please leave it in the section below, and Jacob is happy to get back to you on any of the questions that you may have. In addition, if you want to know anything else about the Gravity Titan lights, whether it's about the Titan light bar itself or the single lights, we've got unboxing videos, we've got other educational videos, all that good stuff. Check out the link in the description in the description below for a full playlist on everything there is to know about the Gravity Titan. With that being said, hopefully you all found this little instruction guide useful. Thank you all for tuning in, and remember to adventure further.